Alrighty then. Yeah. I haven't talked about the old C-19, that bad word, COVID, coronavirus, right? We don't hear the coronavirus very much anymore either, that term. But yeah, it's interesting, right? So we're rescinding and repealing these mandates, right? We got cities are doing it, the military is doing it. Of course, we're saying, well, it's because we want to make sure we keep our employees and we don't lose more employees, don't lose more military. And that's a good reason for it. But here's what I read, and this is a bombshell right here. An expert panel Friday endorsed a sweeping set of proposed changes to the federal government's program for regulating experiments that involve tinkering with viruses. The move sets the stage for a closely watched decision by the Biden administration about its approach to protecting against lab disasters that could kick off a pandemic. The experts unanimously approved draft recommendations that, among other things, ask health officials to extend their oversight to less dangerous viruses, including ones similar to the coronavirus. So now all of a sudden, there was the whole thing coming out about how Fauci was involved with funding of the lab in Wuhan, and they were experimenting with modifying viruses. That was something that came out early in the pandemic, and everyone said, oh, this is, all this, everyone's talking about, this fake information, and it's like, wait a second here, misinformation. So this is misinformation, but this information is true. This is not true. But wait a second here. All information is information. So, there was a lot of talk about how that very well could have been what happened and where the virus came from. No one really knew, but it was still an option. They kept saying, no, it came from the wet market. It came from this. It transferred from animals. And then, of course, Fauci was interviewed. This was probably maybe a couple weeks ago now. He was interviewed, and he even said that there's actually a chance that it might have come from there. But he said, oh, but it's very unlikely, this and that, right? So it's like, wait a second here. So you're telling me there's a very small chance. And now, all of a sudden, they're talking about new changes and proposals here for protecting against lab disasters, for kicking off a pandemic. So why would they be so particular about doing this if indeed, coronavirus and COVID didn't maybe come from that place, right? And they even said one similar to coronavirus, which leads me to believe they're working on other viruses as we speak. So again, I'm not here to tell anyone how to think.